Hello, my friend Natascha. How are you?
Hey, Brett. Morning. How are you?
Good morning. We are here to talk about this word called shift. And it is not a dirty word, and we're going to get to that. But before we do, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I'll take a minute to introduce myself so everybody knows who we are.
Fantastic. Well, hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Natascha Tello, and I am an operating partner here in the South Florida region. I have multiple market centers that I work with, and I have the pleasure of having an amazing relationship with Brett Caldwell. So Brett, why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Absolutely. Besides a longtime friend of yours, I'm also an operating principal in the Atlanta, Georgia market. I've got 6 market centers here in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as 1 back in Dallas, Texas. So it's always fun. I'm excited to sit here and bring this shift series to you guys. Let's dive in. So the word shift, is it a dirty word, or what's it mean to you, Natascha?
When I hear that, you know what I hear, Brett? I hear opportunity. I hear the word shift and I think of opportunity, because it's kind of where the two intersect, right? Where danger and opportunity come together. There's actually in some cultures, there's an actual symbol or a word for that. And that's how I see this. I see it's opportunity time.
Absolutely. And I guess by definition, it means if we were going on this trajectory, a change of direction.
It's a change.
Is another way to say it, but not necessarily dirty or bad, or it's really opportunity, and I love that. Let's get back to that. Before we do, I want to make sure we kind of set the stage here. So early on, Gary Keller wrote this book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book. And it really was kind of the foundation of how to build an incredible real estate business. But it also was written in a thriving real estate market. And what happened is, just like it'll happen soon, it'll happen again in the future, it's happened in the past, times shift. And what he did is he went and wrote the shift book. But what you need to understand is this is really an addendum to the foundation of how to build a great real estate business, and it's that addendum how to operate in trying times or shifting times, right? How would you explain it?
Yeah, so I would say they're layered upon each other, right? So MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book, would be the baseline of how you build a business, a sustainable real estate practice. And then if I were to look at it when a market is shifting, whether shifting upwards or sideways or downwards, or even just a seasonal shift, shift is a layer. It's a layer on top of MREA.
Yeah, and you know, the cool part of all this is like the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Book was really kind of built around, hey, go build this great marketing-based business and enhance it with prospecting kind of on the second tier. However, when Shift came out, you know, that whole concept of speed to the lead became very, very prevalent. And it actually kind of shifted how we thought about the foundation of a real estate business. It said, hey, you actually need to go be prospecting based, and secondary come behind it with that marketing. And tell me kind of how that shifted your thinking.
Yeah, so when you think about it, you know, when times are really good, marketing, you know, all what do they say? All high tides lift all boats. That's kind of like marketing. It's a less proactive way to grow your business, right? It's about getting your name out there. It's about recognition. It's those sort of things. What happens is in a shifting market, the amount of available opportunities start to become smaller, right? Maybe they become less than. And so we need to now be first. So we need to be we can't be reactionary. We need to be proactive. Marketing is much more reactionary, where when we are prospecting, it's a little passive. And when we're, you know, prospecting based, we're much more proactive.
I love that. You know, the interesting thing about real estate is how do you time it? And a lot of people try to time the real estate industry. And Gary Keller, obviously one of our mentors, kind of helped us see this by drawing some pictures, and I'm going to put them up on the screen. But, you know, most people think that a real estate market goes up and goes down, and it goes back up and it goes down, and everybody's trying to really time when to buy at the bottom and when to sell at the top. And whether you're talking the stock market or the real estate market or any market, it's almost impossible to really catch the peak and the valley of anything. But the truth is, in the real estate industry, because our prices appreciate over time, our market, and look at this graphic, actually goes like this over time with a 4% incline over a 50-year period. So at the end of the day, if you can use that word resilience and really kind of bring the resilience factor to your real estate business, you can find ways to thrive in any market. How do you think about it?
You know, I think the same. And one of the things I love to share with our agents is on timing. So I'm going to show you a graphic right now. This is something I'd love for you to utilize when you're on a listing consultation or you're meeting with a prospective seller. Because what do all sellers want, right? They want the best price for the, in the fastest amount of time. And so they're all waiting for that top of the market. But how do you really know when you have the top of the market, when the top of the market's there? You will not know until, if you look at what I'm drawing for you, you'll see that we've just passed it. And so the only way for us to know that the top has been here is once it's beyond us. So we can't, it's almost impossible to time.
Yeah. So look at this figure here. We're going to put it up on the screen, and it's called building a fortress around what you have. And as the market starts to contract a little bit, the whole concept of shift is, how do you hold the line? And holding the line means different things to different people, but at the end of the day, it's really a market share conversation. If you can keep the market share you have when the market is contracting, on the tail side of this, look what happens. Look at this figure. You start to just explode and thrive. And really that's what shift is the market's contracting. How do we find opportunity in a contracting market to hold our line to make sure we're thriving on the tail end of this thing? And it turns out to be just one of the most explosive growth strategies that I've watched people do over the years. It's just hard to see in the middle of it all, right?
Yeah, it feels messy when you're in the middle, but I think Gary Keller says it the best. Gary says the market share that you gain in a shift, you will never give up. The market share that you lose in a shift, you will never regain. And I think if you look at it that way, that's a really great way to look at it.
Awesome. So each week we're going to give you 3 questions to discuss. And here's the first question. First question is, what does hold the line mean to you? And then how will you know you do it?
The second question is, what do you see as obstacles? And what do you see as an opportunity?
Yeah. And then the third question I want you to discuss is, what are the numbers you should be tracking daily, weekly, monthly, to be able to spot the changes in the market?
They happen so quickly. So, well, I'd love for you guys to join us next week as we get into the second set, which is get real, get right about your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Natascha. Have a good one.
Thanks, Brett. Bye, everyone.